A horse's hoof strikes the frozen ground somewhere on the windswept Mongolian steppe. And the world, though it doesn't know it yet, is about to change forever. Imagine an empire so vast that a messenger could ride from the Pacific Ocean to Eastern Europe without ever leaving its borders. An empire forged not by wealth, not by ancient cities, but by the sheer determination of nomads born into hardship. How did a people who owned almost nothing come to own almost everything? How did they build the largest contiguous empire in human history? And why did no force on earth seem capable of stopping them? To understand the rise of the Mongols, picture a world where survival itself is an achievement. The steppe was a brutal teacher, icy winters, scorching summers, and endless grasslands where only the toughest could endure. From this landscape emerged a boy named Temujin, born into a minor clan, hunted by enemies, abandoned by allies, and nearly starving as a child. Viewers, imagine this. You're 12 years old. Your father is killed by poison. Your tribe rejects you, and you and your family must eat roots and wild rodents just to stay alive. What would you have done? Would you have fought back? Or simply given up? Temujin did neither. He transformed. He learned loyalty in a world full of betrayal. He learned strategy in a childhood filled with ambushes. And he learned that survival required unity, something the fractious Mongol tribes lacked. And when he finally rose to power, he didn't just unite those tribes, he remade them. Temujin became Genghis Khan, meaning universal ruler, and from the moment he was elected in 1206, the world began to quake. But let's pause here. What made the Mongol Empire so unstoppable? Was it superior weapons? A massive population? Some ancient secret? Surprisingly, none of the above. The Mongols were fewer in number, often outmatched, and lacking advanced technology. Their real weapon was mastery of mobility, of discipline, of psychological warfare, and above all, mastery of innovation. If you're still watching, ask yourself, what's more powerful, a sword or a strategy? Genghis Khan rewrote the rules of warfare. His riders could travel as much as 200 miles in a single day. They carried multiple horses each, swapping mounts mid-battle. Their bows were composite marvels, capable of punching arrows through armor at enormous distances. But it wasn't just their skill, it was their intelligence network. The Mongols created one of the world's first sophisticated spy systems, gathering maps, local politics, and military weaknesses long before they attacked. They didn't rush into battle. They engineered victory. Some of you might think of the Mongols only as ruthless conquerors, and yes, brutality was part of their arsenal. They weaponized fear. Entire cities surrendered upon hearing their name. But here's the twist. Once a city submitted, the Mongols offered something the medieval world rarely saw: religious freedom. Protected trade, reliable laws, and an era of stability historians now call the Pax Mongolica. Imagine that. The same army that could erase a kingdom in a week also built the safest highway system of the Middle Ages. Let me ask you, if you lived in the 13th century, would you resist the Mongols to the bitter end, or open your gates and hope for mercy? After uniting Mongolia, Genghis Khan launched campaigns that stunned the world. Against the mighty Jin dynasty of China, he didn't rely on brute force. He adopted Chinese siege engineers, learning to use catapults, gunpowder bombs, and complex fortification tactics. When fighting in Persia, he executed one of history's greatest revenge campaigns after a caravan of Mongol diplomats was murdered. And when armies thought they had cornered the Mongols, they often discovered it was a trap, the famous feigned retreat, where Mongol soldiers pretended to flee, luring enemies into disarray before turning around to annihilate them. It worked again and again, crushing armies many times their size. By the time Genghis Khan died in 1227, the empire stretched from Korea to the Caspian Sea, but the story didn't end with him. His descendants Jide, Manangji, Kublai, Batai spanned it further. They conquered most of Russia, entered Eastern Europe, wiped out the Abbasid Caliphate, and fulfilled a dream even Genghis never achieved: the complete conquest of China under Kublai Khan. And here's a detail many don't know. Under Mongol rule, China saw advancements in printing, agriculture, astronomy, and global trade. Kublai Khan even hosted Marco Polo, whose writings astonished Europe with tales of Mongol wealth and complexity. Viewers often ask, how did such a massive empire govern itself? The answer lies in a brilliant system of administration. The Mongols appointed regional rulers, but ensured loyalty through a mixture of privilege and strict oversight. They introduced a passport system called the Pesa, granting merchants and officials safe passage across thousands of miles. Their Yam postal system connected the empire with hundreds of way stations, enabling messages to travel at lightning speed. Think of it as a medieval express network, one that allowed the Mongols to communicate faster than any other power on Earth. But every empire has its limits. The Mongols pushed into lands where horses struggled, jungles that swallowed armies, and typhoons that shredded fleets. Japan resisted through storms the Mongols called the Divine Wind. Vietnam, India, and Java proved difficult. And eventually, the vast empire fractured into 4 major khanates, each drifting toward its own destiny. Yet even in decline, the Mongol influence continued. They shaped borders, transformed trade, and connected civilizations that had barely known each other before. Let me pose a question to you. Was the Mongol Empire a catastrophe for the world, or a catalyst? Did it destroy cultures, or did it connect them? The truth is complicated, full of devastation and brilliance, terror and opportunity. But one thing is certain: no empire before or since has expanded so far, so fast, and with such profound impact. As we reach the end of this journey, take a moment to reflect. From the hunger of a boy on the steppe emerged a force that redrew the map of the world. The Mongols didn't just build an empire. They built a legacy woven into our languages, our technologies, our trade routes, even our genetic history. And though centuries have passed, the echo of hoofbeats across the steppe still whispers of the day the world changed. If you found this story fascinating, let me know in the comments. What part of Mongol history should we explore next? Their invasion of Europe? Their clash with the samurai? Or the secrets of the Silk Road? And if you want more epic deep dives into the forces that shaped our world, make sure to like, subscribe, and join our community of curious minds. History is full of empires, but none rode so far, so fast, or so fiercely as the Mongols.